Right, we're going to do a video today on roof racks, cross rails, roof bars, whatever you want to call them, roofy things. Right, so what are we talking about? We are talking about on your Range Rover Sport L494. We are talking about this raised bar that goes here. Now, actually, on these Range Rovers, the newer ones, they've designed it much sleeker. The other ones, the older models used to have ones that went over a bit bigger, but they're quite sleek. And so you can see there it runs along here. So when you haven't got any crossbars on, there's not much noise. So there you go, you can see it's fitted on this side, and we are going to show you how to fit them on the car because we haven't done it on this side. So we've done one side. We've got a half a clue what we're doing, but it was a couple of weeks ago we did it. So we might sort of make it up as we go along a little bit, but there we go. So that's what it looks like before. So we're going to show you how to do that. We're going to talk you through that. So what have we got here, Tyler? We have laid it all out beautifully. So what do you get in a kit? Basically, you get the two rails. No surprise there. And with the rail, you also get this little filler strip here. So actually, Tyler, do you want to grab the camera so I can use both hands? So the filler strip, let me back up a bit. So you've got some brackets, and the brackets bolt to the roof, and then you end up with 3 brackets that you can then bolt through, and you've got your rails. But of course, it would look ugly if you could see all these bolts and fixings. So they've created this clever little plastic, sort of slightly floppy strip here that clips in and covers over all the gubbins that you fitted there, like so. So, you've got the rails, you've got the little cover strip, you've got the brackets. Right, brackets, and you will notice that right, let me get this right. This is the front. So, you will notice 3 brackets. So, the one at the front, and then there's a big long gap, long, to the middle bracket. And the middle bracket is very close to the rear bracket. So, the 2 close together bits are the rear, the one all out on its own, like me, all alone, is the front. Right. So, you can tell which bracket is the front because it's the long one. It will all curve. So, the little stumpy one in the middle, that's not. And if I try to fit the wrong one at the front, you'll notice it's all going to look a bit odd. It's a bit short. Right. So, you can work it out for yourself. The one you can't work out for yourself, or at least I couldn't, is the middle one. So, I'm going, they look the same. Look, whichever way you look at them, they look the same, but Land Rover reckon they're different. I'm not convinced myself. I don't know if there's any slopage different on them. And so what they've done is they've gone, what we'll do is we'll put a little dimple. See that little dimple there? So if you look at the 2 side by side, you'll notice that they're different because one's got the dimple on this edge and the other's got the dimple on that edge. Now the dimple goes towards the front. So there he is down there all on his own in the front. So we know that that one must go with that side, and we know this one must go with this side. So that's it all laid out. Right, you can get these bars from Land Rover, and there are reproduction ones, and we will put them on our website for sale. You can buy them from us or anyone else. We don't really mind. You can get them in gloss black as well. So we've put the gloss black on our car because he's got the gloss black roof. You could go for contrast, whatever you like. Right, so we're nearly there. Right. Now, there is a couple of other bits to note here. When you buy these from Land Rover, this is what you get in the kit. You also get the screw. We'll talk through the screws a little bit. Right, long ones, short ones. Long ones go down, hold on to get this right, vertically into the roof. The short ones go across, horizontally, joining the brackets onto the crossbars. Right, that's easy enough. We're good. Right, you also with Land Rover ones get this little spacers. No need for you can stay that side, Tyler. Here, stay over there. You get this little spacer block. We'll show you how to use that. And we've got a sort of alternative bit of plastic. Window spacer. Don't tell anyone. Right.
Really efficient.
You are going to need a drill. What are we needing a drill for?
Cutting,
yeah. Right, and this is where the rub comes. Little hex head Allen key and a drill. Now, these are somewhat optional, and we will go into this. This brings us on to templates. This is the easiest roof bar to fit on a car and the hardest? Right, it all depends. So, when Land Rover sold this roof rack, I'm going to hide this black one for now. What they did was they said, well, you're going to need some holes in your filler strips to put these brackets through. Now, you can choose to make those holes yourself and use these handy templates. And we'll show you how to use these. And these tell you where to cut the holes that the brackets will protrude through the filler strip. You can see here, they're going to jump up through, right? So you've got these templates. Or, if you're super flash and super rich, like I appear to be here, you can buy these pre-cut roof rails. So these are the filler strips that are in the car. So these are in the car already. You see I have these. I have no need for them, but they need to have holes put in them. So you can use the template, and these sort of clip out, and we'll show you. They sort of rip out. So you can, look, we haven't taken this side out yet. Look, you see, you can just rip these out, but we'll leave that for later in the video. Oh, it's all slimy. Right, okay. Right.
Leave.
So, this is the easiest roof bar kit to fit if you buy these pre-cut ones. Now, I've looked around and you cannot buy any aftermarket pre-cut filler strips. Only available genuine as far as I can see. So, you could buy an aftermarket roof bar kit, and with the money you've saved, buy the genuine pre-cut out. Look at those. Pre-cut out, and they've got a lovely finish and they're pre-painted and all ready to go. Or you could say, I've got an afternoon free, I've got a Dremel, a drill, and I could make my own holes following the templates, okay? We'll have a bit of a go at making our own holes, but when we do the video, we will say, if you're using these, put these on now. Right, have I covered enough, Tyler? Should we now start getting our hands even more dirty?
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it, right. Come on, come over here, right. So, I might have to get my step, or I could just get you to do it, Tyler, because you're exceptionally tall. Right, go on, Tyler, you do it. God has created you to do roof bar kids, Tyler. Right, so you saw me get this. Oh, it's slimy. Right, what's going on there? So these are sort of clipped in with some little tricky clips. And I think, what's that dead under there, Tyler? I don't know. It's like some dirt. Oh, right, we'll tidy this up a minute. Go on, keep going. Keep going. Go on. Go on.
These funny little clips to stay in there.
Are some staying in and some coming out?
Yeah, it's all a bit.
Right. Look at that. Right. I'll tell you who's good at doing this. That's them monkeys at Longley. They can rip but they rip the trim off my Toyota. Right. So you can. You never done the monkey enclosure at Longley? No. Right then.
The monkey.
So these are the little clips. Now sometimes they stay in the roof, and you can actually take them out because they got these little clips, and you sort of press them. Oh, these are tight. Oh, there you go. Like I got it there. Right, and they're quite clever little crabs. Right. I had it then. They snap back in, but you compress those down, and then if you do two at the same time, which go on. There you go, right, and then they come out. Right, so we did that really badly. So you can see they press down, they've got a little ledge there that catches in the trim. So you can take all those out. Now I forget whether we need any more of them. I don't think we need any. Right, have we left any in the roof? Little red one stayed up there, hasn't he? Let me open the door and climb up there. It's locked. Right, there we go. We've got the red one stayed up there. Oh, we've got a couple of white ones at the back stayed in.
We've got some
I'll point in the right place.
Adhesive.
With pads.
Disgusting.
Disgusting pads. Right. So we've got that out. We are going to stop now. We're going to clean that all up, and we are going to rejoin you without the algae. Right. I've got a little ladder. I've got some steps. Look. Tyler doesn't need any. Right. So here we go. We've cleaned up. We've got to remove, if you've got any of these plastic ones left, you've got to remove them. And Tyler's going to demonstrate how to do it. So you've got this little trim tool with the little sort of fork on the end. It's probably got a posh name. But there we go. We're having one of them. Snake tongue tool, we call it, yeah. So you can get under that little... Don't want to scratch the car. Yeah, watch that. You could put a little cloth under there if you're worried about it, Tyler. Put a little bit of... Oh, look at he's out. It's gone, look at that. Well, let's have a look at that little... So that is a little fir tree type thing. Is that what it is? Indeed, a fir tree. Yeah, it's got that little, if it'll focus, which is not. It's a little barbed plastic fitting.
Just to protect the thread, I think.
Yes, because that's why. Why are we doing all this? Because we need these threaded. So the bolts just bolt into those, so they're all there ready for you. So it is, other than cutting out those filler strips, easy, right? That's that one, Tyler. Right, oh, I'll keep that. You're doing the work. I'm doing the filming. There we go. So we got one more there. Yeah, if you're going from the side, you're not worried about scratching it so much, are you?
Slightly different, but same sort of thing.
Same, but different. Oh, hold on. There we go. Yeah, so why they're red and some white, I guess they're different thicknesses. I think we worked that out, didn't we?
Yeah.
Put yours side by side with mine. I think, oh yeah, look at that. There you go. Look, you can see they're different. So Land Rover got some clever colour-coded thing. Right, so we're good. We'll give that a final clean, but this has exposed our bolt holes, if I point the camera in the right place, to what we need. Right, so let's get everything laid out on the roof now, I reckon, Tyler. Right, so here is the roof rail. I didn't tell you which roof rail went on which side. So the screws, the brass screws, face outward. So the orientation, I've got it here facing to you, not towards the middle of the car. So you've got the one all alone at the front here, and then if you slide around the other side of me, Tyler, you'll see we've got the two rearward brackets quite close to each other. Right, so with that laid on the roof in about the right place, you can see that these two fixings here, if you zoom back a bit as well, I can roughly see, there you go. Those two there line up with these two holes. So that's clearly going to bolt on there. And then the middle, you can see we've got the two holes in the roof rack here. So lo and behold, this lines up with this hole here. So that's going to go on there. Note, the little standoff lug is towards the front of the vehicle. Right, good, that goes on there. Boom, right. And then the rearmost one here, okay, he goes on the rearmost two, which line up with these two here. But you do get left with, the point of this is, these two here remain unused. Okay, I guess if you're super keen, you could put the fir tree back in those to protect the threads for any other random things you wanted to do with them in future. I don't think they're going to fill up with water. They don't go through.
Well, they should be covered anyway if you fit it right.
Excuse me, kiss my car. It's not a love thing. So they are blind. There's no water's going to get in. But I think I'm going to put the plastic. I'm going to put those plastic fir trees back in that. Right, we are waffling. So we are now going to go and get the bolts and our little hex key, and we are going to bolt those down.
Our long bolts.
Long bolts. Yes, correct. Long bolts. Right, we have put this bracket on here, and then we've come to look at this little spacer-rooney thing here. So, as far as we can work out, this you only get this in the genuine kits. We haven't seen the aftermarket kits with this, but I don't think you need it. So you can see it's got a little scooped-in surface there, and it's got a little step there. So the scooped-in surface goes towards the outside, and then if you look in from that end, Tyler, you'll see this little step rests on the plate there. So you see when I drop that in, look. Now what that's supposed to do is supposed to give you the exact space so that when you're tightening these bolts up, these two little bolts, you see you've got a little bit of play movement in here. So you're supposed to push that up so that's nice and tight there, and then knit these bolts up like so. But those of us out there that don't really spend all that money for genuine kits, I've figured out a plan B. So everyone will have one of these red spacers they've just taken out of their car, right? So don't use the two little bendy tabs there, use the bottom, right? And then if you look at it, one side's got a bit of a taper on it. So put with these slopey bits there, put it that way round, right? Put it in, now it gives you the same spacing. So let me demonstrate again. So if you get that there, and you move this, you know, if you look from the front as well, Tyler, let's see, I'm going to do that. I'm going to slide that until that's tight there, up against it. Right, and hey presto, and do that there, and do that at the front there. So you've got that, it'll pushed up tight against it, and that, to me, gives pretty much the same spacing, if I get it round the right way, as the little Land Rover spacer. Right, so let's do this. Let's show you these here. Slide the little step along. Right then. So, here we go. Right, the other thing I wanted to show you was that little black fir tree we took out earlier. I'm going to use that. I'm going to put that back in there. Look at that, that looks pro. There you go, they didn't have that in the instructions. Right, so here we go. So line that up, put that through there. There you go. That was a 4, wasn't it, that Allen?
Yeah.
Allen key, 4
it was a 4.
millimetre. Right, there you go, spin that down. Alright, before we get too tight, use my little spacer, ears at the top, slopey bits towards the outside. There you go, just push that in till he holds him. He holds him about. Let me just I'll double check with that other thing. There we go, he's about right. He's as good as Land Rover's spacing tool. Right, good. Right, I'll get that back one in. There we go. Right, let's get those bolts in first. Yeah. That one's gone a bit tighter. I think it all depends how much muck they've got in those threads, doesn't it?
They can be quite tight.
Again, you've got the little bit of movement there, but I'm going to use my little spacer tool again. Right, hold on, I've got to get that back one down. They're pretty close to the front. Pretty close to the outer edge of the car. Right, let me just grab that socket. Now that one is tight. I'm going to check I've got that. I haven't cross-threaded that one. I might have to put a tap down that and clear that. He's going in far enough. Let me just check the screw. I think he might have some dirt or something in it. Yeah, I reckon there's dirt at the bottom of that. Because the thread doesn't look damaged, but it looks pretty dirty, doesn't it? So let's take that out. We're going to use to clear, I reckon, WD-40 on a straw and blast all the poop out there.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go crazy. Right, I'm just going to blast these out. So I'm going to put that in. And, oh, look at the... and this was actually the one that was giving me more trouble. There you go. Right, that should get us in. So yeah, watch that. Goodness knows where all the WD-40 is going now. Put that on my pano roof. Right, let's try that again. Put that on. Right, it's still tight. Let's have a... I think I'm going to have to... Right. Okay, let's make a tap, shall we, Tyler? Right. Right, if you haven't got a tap, little trick. We've got an M6 bolt. We've just... on the, you can just with an angle grinder or a file, or we've used the bench grinder, put 2 flats on it. So hopefully we can get this one to go in and it can clean the thread up for us. There we go. And all the dirt can go into those little gaps we made on the flat.
Yeah.
You could buy a tap and die set and be all flash. I didn't get where I am today, Tyler, by buying taps and die set every time I had a tight hole. There we go, let's have a look in there. I might have some other... Yeah, so that's cleared out. Look, if I... all that there has come out. But by giving it somewhere to go, by putting a flat, we're all cool. Right, let's get back to the plan, Tyler. Let's get this back on. Right, here we go. Right. But that might help someone, because someone might have that same problem. I like to do our videos as we find it, don't we? Oh, look at that. There you go, in nearly sweet. It's still tight though. I might have to run it through again.
Oh, he's nearly there.
Oh no, he's... Right, no, we'll keep going. I'm going to run him in again. He's nearly there. Right, and a bit more WD-40 and another running. Don't do them too tight or you will damage the head. Right, we'll do that and we'll come and join you again in a second. Success, we've got that one. If you do the little tap method, I wasn't quite doing as pro as I should. You go forward a couple, then back a little bit, and it releases the dirt. Forward a couple, back a little bit, forward a couple, and that seemed to do the trick. Okay, so that's that one tight. And then get that front one in, which I had in before, but I took out again. And get that. In fact, you ought to get them both in before you tighten it up, really, because you need the wiggle room both ways. I'll just check that for reference with the Land Rover gauge, which you won't have. Right there. That seems alright. It's a little bit tighter, that one, isn't it? But
well, I don't think it needs to be absolutely perfect.
Right. Okay, so, there we go. So we now have, I'll fully tighten these. We now have 3 brackets installed and the 2 blanks installed over the fir trees. Right. Now, I mean, actually, should we put those clips back in? Have I misled people with these, Tyler? Because those fir trees hold the clip in, but you don't now need to hold that cover strap in, do you? Because this is going to sit intimately on top of everything and hold it all down. So I'm going to say you could actually have left these 2 in place, couldn't you? There's no need, but I'm going to leave them out. I've put the caps on them, but you could have left these ones in place on those 2. Comment. Let us know what you think. You get what I'm saying? Right. Get everything out of the way. And then, get the cover strip. So, with this video now, we are going to assume you have splashed out and bought the genuine pre-cut cover seals. So, we're going to get those and join you. Right. So, here we have the filler strip pre-cut with its protective film on, which stops you scratching it. Right. So you can see it's got self-adhesive pads, so you'll need to remove these pads here. Right, the other thing we've just noticed, which kind of answered my own question, was these 2 on the genuine filler strip, they've got these spacers with the little barbed fittings on them. So it's really easy. You'll literally just clip this on. But before you do that, you should clean this where we've been spraying WD-40. Have you got that alcohol wipe for me there, Tyler? Look at that. So this is an alcohol wipe. You should clean this area get rid of all the slimy stuff, because this will give you, and we'll put these in with the genuine kit if you buy the genuine kit from us on our website. Right, everywhere where there's a sticky pad, give it a wipe. Right, then peel your sticky pads off. I'm going to have to remove this little fir tree that I had put in. Again, if you're not using the genuine, it's up to you, but you could reinsert those in your filler strip. Right, get rid of that little spacer there, Tyler, that we were using for checking. And then I'm not going to peel off the strip, because in the next bit of the video, I'm going to cut my filler strip. But you would peel off all your sticky pads, including this red one at the front. That's giving you a little, and that should, you might need to clean off, come around the front here, Tyler. You may need to clean off your original stickiness. There, right, so you can clean all that off, but again, I'm just gonna, then it's a question of lining up your little holes here, your little fir tree fixing. They seem to be the critical thing, don't they? And then if we get a knife together, because here we go. Let's pull those off.
And we get a satisfying.
Look at that. You get the satisfying look of where these brackets mysteriously pop up. So they mysteriously pop up, and then you can, everything else will be glued down, and then actually let's get this all off. Then what we do is we get our roof bar, slide that over there, line up those bolts. You lined up good there? Right.
I can be if I need to be.
Can be, yeah. Right, and let's get the short bolts now and have a go at putting some of these short bolts in. Right, one thing we did notice that these little inserts they've put inside, these brass inserts, they can move about a bit, so it's worth just making sure, without damaging the thread, that they are in line with the holes. We had one on the other side and it was a little bit, and all we had to do was just push that and slide it along to get it lined up. But these we've checked are all okay. So let's get that down on there. Now we're going to have to push down on that. I think I'm going to have to get off my pedestal, Tyler. And we're going to have to push down a fair bit on that to get that lined up. It's got those spongy pads in there, hasn't it?
Mm.
Right, those spongy pads are pushing up a bit, so we did have to really lean on that to get those in. But it looks like the rear ones look like they're doing a bit better, doesn't it, Tyler?
Yeah.
So there we go. Right, so you just still need a bit of a. There we go. That's got that. Let's brought that other one in just about. Right, how the back one's looking, Tyler? Bit of a push again.
Should. Right. So that front one was the biggest issue for us.
It was the biggest issue. I think it's got more pads at the front.
If we had a major issue, we might have removed some pads.
Right, so again, get those properly tightened. And then the last and final thing is the filler strip. Well, what we call cover strip.
Cover strip.
Down here.
On the
On the
floor, where everything valuable is kept.
So let's have a look. Let's have a think about this cover strip, Tyler, because we did this before. So we've got to obviously now there's we haven't got to work. Yes. We coloured this in. I remember doing this 2 weeks ago. Now, this is how you work out which is front and back. And how you fit it is critical to this little crescent shape, which won't be orange on the one you buy. So you see all the tabs are square, but this one's rounded off. And that goes into the little rounded off. That's why we highlighted that, wasn't it?
That's why there's orange
That's
everywhere.
why there's orange everywhere. We think, oh, that's important. We've got to get that. So when we go to fit it, you can tell which one's which. Because that orange lines up, and oh, hold on, that's the wrong way around. Clearly,
Good example.
good example. There we go. So that's the way it goes. So all your strips should be horizontal. All the little tabs, if you look from the end, Tyler, all the little tabs are horizontal, and it's going to go in. Now, it also when it goes in. So let's get that semicircle lined up there, which he is. I seem to recall you have to put it in. And you have to tuck top edge. You see that top edge is tucked under. There you go. And then it goes in. Now, right, before you do all that, so practice fit that. But before you finally do it, what you've got to do is you've got to pull off the adhesive strip. I've got it stuck now. There we go. So it has an adhesive strip. But make sure you're happy with fitting it, because once you've got the adhesive strip off, you kind of... It's only a one-shot go, isn't it? So yeah, get used to it tucking up under that. Right, grab your alcohol wipe, a new one. So we'll have to put those in with the kit as well, Tyler. And clean that area where it's gonna. I've got my greasy prints over it. Pull that strip off. I'm not going to do it now because I need to take this off and do the video for how we drill it. Clip that underneath again, lining up that little semicircle there. That's it. It'll sort of half, and then push that down, and that will then clip into place. Okay? I'm not stuck it down, but that is it, and that is the job finished. If you buy, that's the process for if you buy the kit and you also buy the additional Land Rover cover strips. Now, what we'll do a separate video to keep it easy on how to drill your cover strips using the template. And I'll put the link to that video there.